you believe that we started recording right in the middle of 2020 with all of the COVID and lockdowns going on around us, unable to meet up? So like many a young gentleman, we turned to the internet for our entertainment. Tried to find a place where we could meet up and talk about the good, the bad, and that time that Stu saw a pelican on the canal. In order to facilitate our dreams of answering all of the big questions in film, and after a few attempts at recording via other methods to various levels of success, we found Zencastr, a super easy web-based one-stop shop for recording. Log in and you're ready to record in a matter of seconds. It doesn't take a tech genius to get high quality audio or video. And on top of that, the one time we have had an issue, the fact that the multi-layered backups are stored locally means it's easily fixed all in browser. There are plenty of tools you need when you start podcasting, so let Zencastr take that headache away, as it offers a place to record, edit and distribute all from one website. Any lazy bones Jones can pick up and play and have studio quality audio or 4K video put out for the world to see when using Zencastr. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code CAGEFIGHTING and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. We want you to have the same easy experiences we do for all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story. And now, hit the music. Welcome to Cage Fighting. It's your main man Andy Gillard here. Hope you're all keeping well in the world right now. Same as last week, really. Just a quick hello, and then I'm going to pass you over to myself as we continue on with our 3 stages of Christmas, where we'll be looking at Christmas future. We'll be getting some ideas on what we're going to expect in the next 12 months in the cinematic and TV universe. Then in the second part of the podcast, myself and Stu wind up on Absurd Autumn as we talk about the truly insane Champagne and Bullets. So, Christmas future, final episode, and then next week, gents, we'll be talking about the Star Wars Christmas special. Are we all excited?
Can't wait.
So, Christmas future. Before we lock in our top 5 films of 2025, which will be some point next month, what movies do you feel you need to see before you confirm your list? Ed, have you got a handful of films that you think that could potentially be a top 5er?
I have. I've got my what I'm going to watch over Christmas list, and I've got 4, so I'll take the 5th one from you guys. One's really obvious is The Running Man. I just want to see the remake of that, but we've already talked about the reuse of IP. Sinners is another one that I really want to see. But one of them comes out in the real world tomorrow here, which is the film I will go to the cinema for, in that Zootopia 2.
Oh, yes.
So absolutely. The first Zootopia is probably the closest to 10 out of 10 you can get for an animated film. It's brilliantly acted. It's a brilliant story that's new. It's got relatively decent reviews so far. So it should, true. So it shouldn't be as much of a flop. So I'm really looking forward to that because I think that's really good. But one that I saw doing research for this and I'm really interested in, which just goes back to my history background, is there's Nuremberg, and it's the psychologists look at the real evil Nazi, which is Goering, or Goebbels, whichever one it is. But he was like, if people always say, they always use Hitler, that's why, he's the antithesis of, if Hitler did it. There's an actual theories in the Godwin's theory of when people say, well, Hitler was a vegetarian or something, that means everyone who's a vegetarian is like Hitler. But this guy was the actual psychopath. This is the one that, even Hitler said maybe we should dial it back a bit. So that's really interesting to me. That one's really, really interesting to me. So that's one I'm desperate to watch, but it's a serious one that I'll have to make sure my phone isn't with me, and I'm not going to watch it through my phone. It's going to be something I'm going to have to pour some time into. But that one I'm really looking forward to.
I've given Russell Crowe stick because he's just gone off the ball over the last few years, and when he likes to put an accent on, he's usually horrific. But apparently, everything I've heard about Nuremberg is that he's back on form. So yeah, that does sound like a decent one. What else you got?
I think that was all of mine. I've gone through mine.
Was it? Sorry. Okay, Stu, it's on your list.
I had Nuremberg as well, just because when we talked about it a couple of weeks ago when he was on Rogan, and he was really good. And I thought, actually, you know what this is? I mean, that was without hearing anything about what you were on about with reviews and stuff. Just that it was obviously a passion project for him. And like you said, when you can get him bothered, he's very, very good. One battle after another.
Some good shit.
Yeah, exactly. Again, one that was not out for long enough. It's 2 miles away from me. It's 40-minute walk. It's not far, and yet these things just disappear. Ridiculous. Running Man, like Ed said, The Long Walk, again for the same reason. Same reason, caught stealing, that disappeared, as did the Smashing Machine and Mickey 17. All exactly the same scenario. They'd be on for a few days. I wouldn't go on the Friday because there'd be probably Leeds game on or something. I'd watch that, and then by the time it gets to the next week, it's all over. And I did like it when they used to put things on during the day, like at 11:30, so it gives you time to watch it and then go and do the school run for a relatively normal length film. And they were always busy, so I don't understand why they stopped doing it. When we talked about last week about Wicked, where they can put that on at 9:20 in the morning and get people in. Yet for other films like Smashing Machine, which was the one that we talked about for ages and ages, and then it came and went, and no one's talked about it since. No,
Smashing Machine's been quite interesting. Like it's kind of wild how little money that film has made. And I know it's sort of niche, but it's Benny Safdie directing, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Emily Blunt's in it. I kind of thought people will turn up for those, even if they're not MMA fans, and they just fucking didn't at all.
I think it might be that people want him as The Rock. And his whole thing, the thing that when we go back 2 years ago when we were talking about his Netflix films with Ryan Reynolds and how he's got into this kind of playing the same thing over and over again. It's what people like. It's why Ryan Reynolds is so popular.
Play the hits.
Yeah. And yet he does something actually really good and different.
Even that was starting to drop off for him. Like, that was being less successful as time went on. He was making more money off selling his tequila than he was making films. Like, I think that it's just kind of ground down a little bit for him. Like, Moana's going to make $1 billion, and it's going to have nothing to do with Dwayne. It's going to be for the obvious reason that we've already discussed. So it'll be interesting what happens after that with him. But yeah, it was a perfectly fine film. I don't quite think it was Oscar worthy, but that doesn't mean jack shit, does it? Let's be honest.
No.
They'll pick whoever the fuck they want, regardless.
I mean, obviously, we know what the big one is. We don't need to talk about it. It's probably going to be in the top 5 as it was a few years ago. Avatar is just, we're out there. We're silent, other than me.
It gets bums on seats, doesn't it?
It does. It does. Like, I fully expect it to be the biggest grossing film of the year. I think was Lilo and Stitch 1.3 billion. I think 1.5 billion. I suspect. You are right. People just turn out for Avatar. I don't get it, but the people who love it fucking love it. Weird fuckers, but. Like, yeah, fair play to them. At least they're getting to get what they want to see.
Yeah.
The annoying thing will be, it'll be on like 10 of the 14 screens, and like the rest are just gonna have to fucking scrabble for whatever they can find.
Is it still in 3D, Stu? Does it?
The last time for the problem with Super Screen is they never ever do it in 3D. I don't even know if they can, which is strange because surely it's a digital thing. You should just be able to just put some glasses on. So we went to Telford to watch it in IMAX last time. I think we'll do the same again.
Right. On my list, I've got 4 films as well, which one of them I've already mentioned, which is Die My Love, the Jennifer Lawrence, Robert Pattinson film, the Lynn Ramsey film. I really like Lynn Ramsey as a director. She knows how to deliver a gut punch, and those are 2 actors who I want to see in everything, and I'm still annoyed that I'm just not going to get to see it in the cinema at this rate. I'm not 100% sure if it's out this year. I think it's out tomorrow, our time in the States, which is the 28th of November. Hamnet, which is Jessie Buckley and Paul Mescal playing Agnes and William Shakespeare. And all of the reviews I've heard about it are that it is just one of the most heart-wrenching films you will ever see. Like, it's supposed to be properly moving, really gets you in the feels from everything I've seen. I like, again, both of those actors. Chloe Zhao, I didn't like Eternals, but I'm going to put that down to the fact that it's MCU, and I wasn't a huge fan of the film she won the Oscar for, Nomadland. It was absolutely fine, but, you know, as an Oscar winner, she's obviously got something in her locker. So that's a film that I'm looking forward to seeing. I keep hearing about this Train Dreams. I really like Felicity Jones. I think Felicity Jones is fantastic. Kerry Condon's in it, who obviously she was in that film that you didn't like, Stu, the Irish one.
Oh, Banshees of Inisherin.
Banshees, yeah. And people are saying this is Joel Edgerton's best ever performance.
It's in it's on Netflix now.
It is, yeah. It's available now. So that's one that I need to get onto. I really like Joel Edgerton. I think he's a very solid actor. So I'm looking forward to that. And the last film that I haven't got round to yet is Highest to Lowest. Spike Lee, Denzel Washington.
There you go.
I don't really need to say any more, do I? It's my kind of shit, that is. But again, just haven't got round to it yet. So those are the ones on my list.
What about Frankenstein?
It's all right. I saw it last weekend. The problem with it is the problem I have with a lot of Netflix films. They all feel like Netflix films. I kind of, because Ash went to see it in the cinema and he said it was great. And I kind of wish I'd have been able to see it in the cinema, because when I watch it on streaming, a straight to streaming film, if it's a big movie like Frankenstein should be, I kind of want to see it on a big screen, not a small screen, because it automatically makes it feel like what we grew up with, a straight to VHS.
You know what? We could do this next year, of like formats and stuff. When we mentioned it a while ago, but since having this 65-inch telly in this room, and I've barely watched anything on projector-wise, and there is definitely a difference watching stuff on telly compared to watching things projected. Definitely is. It fit like, you know, that thing you sent me, that YouTube video about the warmth of old film. Yes,
the optics versus haptics.
Yeah, there's 100% something in that, because I don't think he was going to save Samurai Cop, but watching things like that on a projector, you've automatically got a filmic kind of scenario about you. Even if the pictures, you're talking about a 1080p projector compared to a 4K HDR telly, one feels more warm than the other, even if it's not as good.
It makes sense.
So, and maybe that is because nostalgia and because we're brought up with it and we're used to it. But that's what I was going to do. I was going to watch Frankenstein on a projector screen rather than a telly. For that reason, because it is Del Toro and it's all the whole thing, it doesn't seem like the Netflix Christmas cinematic universe does not deserve projector status. Because it's not for that. We don't need woman goes to small town, meets guy, finds something bad about Guy, realizes she's wrong, and then loves him forever. We don't need that.
And
on
the
a
guy
project.
is actually a gingerbread cookie.
Yeah. Or that snowman one from last year.
Or he owns the conglomerate that's about to knock down your mum's cafe that's been there for
That was
3,000 years.
That was the one of the plot twists in the one of the Netflix films this year. I've watched already.
Dear me.
But yeah, that was on there, as was my Minecraft movie, because I don't really know anything about Minecraft, but it's got Jack Black, and it seems to be beloved.
Yeah.
And I just saw it on Christmas Day available. So
it's been one of the biggest films of the years, Minecraft.
Yeah.
I mean, I've no real interest in it because I don't understand it, but I do like Jack Black, and I might watch it just because it's been popular and fuck all else to do, isn't there? So.
Looks like Jumanji, but with boxes instead of Minecraft. I don't understand.
We're getting
Minecraft.
another Jumanji. I'd forgot that's going to be Dwayne's next thing.
Good.
It looks like they're in the real world this time. Again, it's another thing that they got away with by doing a sequel to it. Why the fuck are they going back again?
Because
just leave
it makes money.
Yeah, it makes money.
Yeah, well.
Talking of nostalgia, I know we touched on it a few weeks ago in cage fighting terms, but the original Jumanji was one of the few times I ever was allowed to take the day off. I wagged school that day with my actual mother to go and watch Jumanji and have a McDonald's in the Odeon in Merry Hill. It was a brilliant memory.
That's an incredible memory, to be fair. You couldn't beat having like a sneaky day off from school because your parents just allowed you to go and do something. Yeah. It's always the best.
The only time I did that was when England, Tunisia, 98 World Cup.
Yep.
2:00 in the afternoon. And she knew obviously what we were going to do. And we went round Pitty's house, funnily enough. 10 of us went round there because he had a Trinitron. So he had the biggest TV of any of us. So we went round to his house and watched it. And obviously the next day, have you got a note for where you went? And we went round Pitty's to watch the game, didn't we? And that's what Mom had wrote on the note.
Honesty is the best policy.
Yes, it had the day off to watch England, Tunisia. And she's like, you can't, this is not a reason. I went, yes, it is. And she went, no, you can't have this. I went, well, give me some paper then. I'll write it on myself and I'll forge my mum's signature. This was to my form tutor. And she's like, okay. So I said, yeah, he had illness, had to go home. Signed G Hall. There you go.
I watched that game in the music teacher's practice room where she used to smoke like her 50 a day back then because you could. And it was an attack on the senses, but it was the only place where you had there was a TV, and there was like 5 of us that watched it in there that refused to go to the rest of our lessons.
So I went home to watch it at lunchtime, like fucking everyone did. That was the day I was supposed to be getting awarded with the deputy head boy badge. So, needless to say, that went down like a sack of shit with the deputy head, who I ended up having a feud with. Wrote to the papers about him, and they printed out that like I called him a petty-minded little Hitler because he was a cunt. Like I hope he's dead. I hated him. Yeah, he had a seizure in class the once. He was just sat there, and everyone was like silent. And then you started hearing like and like you just turn around like where's that coming from? And it was from him. And had it have been me sat next to him, I'd have just left the cunt to die. Fuck him. Someone ran and got his tablet. So great days. I've completely forgot where we were.
1998, I think, is where we were.
Yeah, it seems like it.
But I think we're on to
question 2 now, isn't it? Yeah, question 2. If the Ghost of Christmas Future takes us to 2026, Super Mario Galaxy is going to make $1 billion. We know this. But how have Mortal Kombat 2 and Street Fighter done? And which one is going to be the best beat-em-up of the two? Stu?
Like, this is what we kind of touched on this last few weeks about how like films just appear and disappear straight away. That was kind of like what Mortal Kombat was. And I know a lot of people didn't like it that much. I
Pandemic-y as well, wasn't it? So I
Yeah.
think it was a straight to streamer.
I liked it more than the original one from the 90s and Annihilation.
It's a low bar, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was terrible at the time. But I thought it was silly. It knew exactly what it was, and it came out at that time when there wasn't much else to do. But it's Mortal Kombat, and for people of a certain age, it's still got that kind of edginess. And you've got the Mortal Kombat collection that's out to buy as well. So I presume that game will be pushed to all hell, and it's the age rating on it. So, do the kids play Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? No, because they don't. They play Roblox and Minecraft, and obviously Fortnite, which is in that Tarantino's. Obviously, by the time this comes out, Tarantino's got something in Fortnite now as well.
Has he? What
based around Kill Bill.
Okay.
Starring Uma Thurman, of course.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that anyone under 30 couldn't give a fuck about these things. Which
who
I
are
don't.
they aiming that at? That's what I was thinking, because my lad plays Fortnite and he's 10. He won't know what Kill Bill is for the next, 10, 15 years.
There's stuff in that game now that makes absolutely no sense. Like, I think the same thing sometimes, like, who's this for? But because it's all in Game Pass, ain't now as well. Yeah. So Fortnite Crew's in Game Pass, so maybe that's another one of them things. Like, it's, look, old people. One of your favourite film characters is in this thing that you get for free, air quotes now. Give this a go, and then you buy a hat for 20 quid, and they've got you.
Yeah,
maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they know that they've got the young people, so they're going to get. Maybe they put Bigfoot and the Hendersons in there for Andy and get him in that way. They tried to get him with Turtles in there.
I think
Call of Duty. So
yeah, they did.
But yeah, it's. I'd guess Street Fighter will have a better reviews. I think Mortal Kombat will make more money.
That's fair. Ed, what do you reckon?
See, I came at this looking at what you see as the potential characters, and I think Street Fighter's got more depth to the potential characters they have, and obviously I'm hoping Kylie Minogue, gets some kind of cameo. So I'd have gone with Street Fighter, but also that I think that's ticking my nostalgia box because I was a Nintendo kid instead of a Sega kid, so therefore I had Street Fighter well before I knew what Mortal Kombat was. But I just think character-wise, I think you've got there's a lot more variance in Street Fighter, but Stu's probably right. I think that when I did some looking up on it earlier, the fact that Mortal Kombat has got that age rating, it's probably going to tick some boxes for the Goths and the Greebos that we talked about in a previous episode as well, that maybe we'll like to see that. And obviously Mortal Kombat was a little bit more brutal than Street Fighter. Street Fighter, you just got to beat up cars. You didn't actually get to rip people to shreds like you did in Mortal Kombat. So I reckon Stu might be spot on there. I think Street Fighter will probably get the reviews, but I reckon Mortal Kombat it ticks more niche boxes for people, I think.
And you have, I wonder if they have a little nod to the guy in Street Fighter 2 who looks like he's wanking off behind a shopping trolley in the film.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see. I think Mortal Kombat will win on both fronts, if I'm honest. I look at the list of Street Fighter. Jason Momoa. Cool. Okay. Roman Reigns.
Yeah, then there's a load of wrestlers, isn't there?
Yeah. Andrew Schultz, Cody Rhodes. Fuck the Fed. No. Hiroki Goto, that's kind of interesting as a Japanese wrestling fan, but I was never a big fan of him anyway. It's like none of it particularly looks that exciting to me. I had both the Super Nintendo and a Mega Drive. So I've got a foot in both camps when it comes to these games. I always preferred Mortal Kombat as a game. It felt a little bit more all action. And obviously you literally got to, as you said, you get to kill the people on it. It was a bit more fun than Street Fighter. And plus, like, as bad as the original Mortal Kombat films were, neither were anywhere near as shit as the original Street Fighter film. So I think that the pull of the original, plus you've already got one film, it's a sequel to that. So I think Mortal Kombat is going to have that little bit more going for it in terms of box office appeal. I just can't see Street Fighter being interesting, because even like at the game level, there was nothing interesting about the characters beyond like they were two-dimensional, both literally and figuratively. Whereas in Mortal Kombat, they did like push their backstories a little bit more. So I feel like there's a little bit more depth to Mortal Kombat. They'll just make it a bit more interesting. I mean, this is going to be the difference between shit and poo. I'm being perfectly honest. That neither's going to be a good film. I just think Mortal Kombat's going to edge it, to be honest. So,
which characters Fiddy playing? Who is he playing? I'm trying to think.
he is playing. Is it Balrog? He's playing Balrog,
The boxer, right? Makes sense.
the boxer.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Mike
Momoa
Bison.
is Bison.
The Mike Bison was his name, wasn't he? Balrog's name in Japan, I
Oh,
think.
was it?
Yeah.
Because
M.
M. Bison is the
Yeah. But I'm sure it was
Raul
Mike
Julia,
Bison.
wasn't he, in the original? Okay.
I'm sure it was Mike Bison because it was just a play on, obviously, Mike Tyson.
Okay. Like some of these characters, I don't even fucking know. Like I know Blanca,
Yep.
The
which
green
is
one.
Momoa's character. How are
Okay.
you going to put that in a film? And why are you going to bother?
He was radioactive
Akuma.
in the original, wasn't he?
Yeah. Akuma, I've never heard of.
Nope.
Chun-Li, I know Chun-Li because that was Kristen Krug from Smallville did a film about Chun-Li. So that's the only reason I'd tell you about that. Cody Rhodes is playing Guile. Vidyat Jamwal is Dalsim. Don Savage, don't know who that is. Zangief, was he the... Hang on, which one was Zangief?
Russian
he
guy.
was the wrestler, wasn't he? The
Russian wrestler, yeah.
But again, they've got no character beyond what they look like.
Yeah, it's
Kyle Mooney.
Bunch of
I like Kyle
stereotypes,
Mooney.
wasn't it, I guess?
Yeah, it was. It was.
they were just easy to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
That's why they look like they do. But it's it is just nostalgia bait for old people, and that's why you look at the cast, and it's people of a certain age know who these people are.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, right. Final question. 10 years from now, what film or TV moment from 2025 do you think people will still be talking about? Ed?
I think Stu touched on it in the last episode, but I think it's going to be adolescence. That really struck a chord to the point where it was discussed in newsletters that were sent out to my kids' school, talking about things to look for, especially when they go to high school.
Wow.
Things to be aware of. Where we live, it's a very mixed area. There's some very rough working class, not working class, but lower working class, real struggles where the kids are a bit feral, up to, relatively comfortable middle class people. And the mix that they have is a massive eye opener. And I think adolescence touched on that, didn't it? Where you had a working family in a working class town. And it, like I think Stu's said to you on different podcasts that I've listened to, obviously, of cage fighting, that it actually isn't that overblown. There are things that go on in schools that would shock you. At primary school, my lad's primary school, we were told about them playing Squid Game on the playground. And I thought we used to. British Bulldog was banned when I was at school.
Red light, green light. Yeah.
But yeah, the red light, green light. I didn't know. I've never watched Squid Game. It doesn't. But I obviously know the premise. And but they weren't just playing it to the point of you're out. It was to the point of, well, then you die. So that was of concern. So what goes on at school was massive, and just also obviously the way it was shot. Sir Stephen Graham is probably Britain's best export at the minute, acting wise. Loved him in Gangs of New York, one of my favourite films of all time, and he's been knocking it out of the park ever since, really. So I think it's adolescence because I think it touches on the socio-economic place that we're at the minute as well. With that's what is just what happens in real life right now, and it touched so much of a chord that it was, on the news. It was on this morning. It was in newsletters from people's schools. It just struck home, didn't it? And I think we'll talk about that bit like the George Floyd moment during the pandemic. I think it was sort of Britain's fictional answer to what really goes on in real life.
You'd hope that it leaves a positive legacy rather than, oh, this is just what the world's like now. This is how fucked we are.
Well, I think the problem is, I think I'm very guilty of it. Without trying to be too serious after 11 o'clock, but we kind of, as Brits, point and laugh about gun crime in America, and it's like, oh, there's another one that's got shot. Just replace guns with knives, and that's basically Britain, isn't it? We just don't have access to the same kind of hardware. So, and one of them is readily available in your kitchen. So it's that those kind of things are real concerns. So you'd hope it's caused some conversations and things, but it was big for a moment, and then it isn't anymore. So we'll see, I guess, if it has a legacy.
Yeah, it is interesting because I do feel like the role social media has had. I mean, I'm mostly on Twitter, to be honest, but I do feel like the Twitter has changed quite a lot over the past 12 months. In part because there's a fucking crazy cunt running it. I think he's the biggest issue of it all. But I've definitely noticed a change on it, and how do you combat it? But at least there is something like adolescence, and I'm sure we'll get more of this gritty realism to highlight it, which is good, but at the same time we shouldn't really fucking need it because we just shouldn't be cunts. But it's the world, isn't it, I suppose? You're going to end up with people crawling into your DMs and whatnot. Stu, what have you got?
I mean, it just reminded me then as I was starting to giggle when you said about them playing Squid Game. So when I was at primary school, there was 2 primary schools. One of them was kind of derelict, and while the one that we were at was being redeveloped, we had to go to the old one. And so they had porta cabins and stuff there. Again, it was probably there for about 40 years. It was temporary back then, as was the way. But so the place was a bit old and knackered, but they had pipes in the toilet that you could see, and Gladiators was on at the time. So at the end of, I think it was the end of year 4, we went in there and played hang tough off said pipes and pulled them down and flooded the place.
Of course, yeah.
We blame TV as well.
British Bulldog got banned at our school because a boy called Lee jumped over a 3-foot wall rather than get caught, but the other side of the wall was a 7-foot drop. Snapped his leg in 4 places, and then he got banned.
Oh. Yeah, we had people with cheekbone issues and stuff from playing that. It was in the tennis cage as well. So if you got squished against a cage, there was nowhere to escape to. Great days. I mean, mine on a kind of more upbeat note, other than that, was going to be Superman. Just how, things don't have to be sad and depressing all the time. We can just have a bit of fun, and the reaction to that was really well. It was really well liked by everyone, like fans and critics, and people who are kind of semi-bored by Marvel things over the last 13 years. Yet you have the best part of the MCU in James Gunn doing his James Gunn thing, and it actually working. And if you're looking back in 12 months' time, and we've got, well, we said a few weeks ago with Peacemaker, season 2 being great as well. And then you're looking back and you've got another 2 films and a couple of DC series as well. I think that is the James Gunness of the DC universe, just fixing it and making it better.
Certainly hope so. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. Unsurprisingly, because I've barely mentioned it for the past 90 minutes of this recording, Sinners is the one. that I think in a decade is still going to have the resonance. I think the fact that Ryan Coogler had it put in his contract that the studio, you get it for the next 10 years to make whatever money you want, and after that the rights revert back to me. I think we will see this film keep rumbling on. I think the studios want to make as much money as they can from it in the time that they've got it for, and then once it's out, Coogler's got free reign to do what he wants. So I think from a purely film standpoint, I don't think they will let us forget about this movie. I think it's in my top 5. It's probably in my top 3. It may even be top 1. We've got a month and a bit before we make that final call, but it seems likely. I think it's an incredible film that, like, we've seen so many issues about division within the world and everything, and I feel like this is a very good exploration of that, about the moral decline. And as I mentioned last week, it's all sort of baked into this movie. It feels like it has a weightiness to it that a lot of films this year haven't had the same. And it's just got this fucking tremendous, both the tremendous performance from Michael B. Jordan, but also everything that goes around how making 2 Michael B. Jordans work. When you get to it, Ed, when you see the scene of him passing a cigarette from one Michael B. Jordan to the other one, it's just incredible.
I mean, I didn't even know until the end that it was him. Even that,
like, yeah.
Like I was watching it, I had no idea.
I was watching it, I was like, you look like Michael B. Jordan, but you look like Michael B. Jordan. Like, you both look like... It can't be. And it was because of him, like, the hugs and stuff, and you see both of their faces and the passing of the cigarette, and you're like, I don't know how you could have done that to have had to not have had 2 separate actors playing it. It was outstanding.
They do explain it on Corridor Crew if you just go and watch it on there. Mm-hmm. Even in their
worth watching.
Crude way of explaining how it was done, it's like, this is some technical wizardry to even think of doing this. Mad.
Yeah. I just think it's a magic film it works on so many levels that. That's the reason why I went to see it. Was it 6 times I went to see it in the end, Stu? I think I just fucking loved it, and I think it's the one that I think is going to stand the test of time from this year, probably more so than anything else. Like we mentioned Weapons last week, I think that's got a decent chance again. It depends on how they follow that up. I don't know, but yeah, Sinners for me. Right, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back to discuss Champagne and Bullets as we do our final film of Absurd Autumn. Okay, right. Still ticking. 3rd time's a charm. Maybe.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm going to say we got to 17 seconds first time, so...
It's a record.
Oh.
The only time I ever got 17 seconds was when I was incredibly drunk. The opposite has happened as well, where I fell asleep during. But again, I was
like
incredibly
3
drunk.
days.
Yeah. I fell asleep during the act. He was on top of me, snoring away.
Oh, that's just horrendous. Right, I'm hoping it's going to hold. Keep your fingers crossed. Thanks for joining us for the final part of the podcast. We are experiencing some technical difficulties, but don't worry about that. Stu, nothing's going to age this podcast more than the fact that we both have colds, which have come on between recording the first half of the podcast and now doing the second half of the podcast.
Yeah, it's almost like it's slid into us.
Not in a pleasant way either.
No.
But I'll tell you what is pleasant, Stuart. Champagne and Bullets, a.k.a. Road to Revenge, a.k.a. Get Even.
No space. Get Even either.
Yeah, no space. All one word. Recorded in the early 90s, put out in 93, got nothing. Recut and edited, put out again, got nothing. Reshoots done in 2007 that were implemented for Get Even, and then it got some kind of cult status. Incredible. Before we get to that though, Stu, did set you a bit of a challenge to watch a couple of episodes of Ha Ha You Clowns. Probably the most ridiculous thing I've seen this year, especially in the animated world. Utterly bizarre. As I said to you, it's either going to be a love or a hate. So I'm intrigued. How did you find it?
Well, I didn't really know what I was getting into, so I mean, it was a pain in the arse to find. I know that much.
It's on MB.
It wasn't on mine. Mine's different to yours. Remember?
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
So it wasn't on there. It wasn't on anything at all. I even typed it into Just Watch It. At first, it didn't even come up. So I had to go to the high seas and get it from there. Again, didn't even know how long the episodes were, so I just got 4. I thought, well, give myself a couple of hours here just to get kind of vibe. Didn't need a couple of hours. It's something.
It's weird as fuck, isn't it?
I don't know what it is. I've no idea. Like, is it supposed to be funny? It's just bizarre. It's surreal. I don't like that animation style anyway. That it just annoys me.
Very scratchy, and I think it is quite difficult to sit with. That's why it took me a couple of watches to get into the first episode.
Yeah, it's like I didn't like Rugrats for this reason. I don't like that style of animation. Don't know why.
Okay.
But then Beavis and Butthead's the same, and that's acceptable. Just one of them weird quirks. I just don't particularly like it, and why everyone's all jacked up as well. Like everyone.
Yeah, like none of it makes any sense. It's very tonally bizarre. It's all over the place. It's 3. They're not young lads. I assume they must be early 20s, maybe, who were trying to make their dad happy after the death of his wife. And the latest episode was good. Episode 8 or 9, I think it is. And they bring a woman round to meet their dad, and the dad starts crying at the dinner table after they make the mom's famous dish, and then they end up playing like a fake Call of Duty with this woman that they brought round. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, I saw a documentary years ago on YouTube about the most inbred family in America, and this is like what this is. It's all very bizarre. They're all in the mid-20s. Like when they're throwing the ball outside to each other. And film night together. And yeah, I've never seen anything quite like it really before. Yeah, it's intriguing. I kind of had I thought, I don't get this at all. I thought maybe that's the point. Maybe you're not supposed to get it. Maybe it's like kind of like
I don't think there's anything to get. I think it's very surface level silly.
Because as soon as he came up with Adult Swim, I thought, well, this is literally hit or miss, because a lot of the stuff on there over the years, I've not liked and others I've loved. Was Deathmatch on there at some point as well?
I think it was. I know the one that I used to watch off there that I quite liked was Robot Chicken.
Yeah, I like Robot Chicken.
Great show that is. And like you are right, it does have some hits, but then stuff like Aqua Force, Aqua Teen, Hunger Force, something like that, didn't really work for me. It's that it does produce as many misses as it does hits for me.
The Moonanites, was that on there as well?
I don't remember that one.
We are the Moonanites.
I don't no idea.
If you type in Moonanites, I think it was Seattle. Well, I'll put Moonanites digital display.
Right.
And they basically hijacked the traffic signs in a city in America with the I think it was the chips or the fries was on the display. Just strange.
I don't know if that's going to work on this camera because it's too bright. Yeah, it's not going to. They look like computer viruses is the only way I can describe them. I don't know if that's actually what it is. Is that going to work?
That's a different version of it.
Oh, is it? Okay. Very weird. Okay, yeah, I've no idea what the Moonanites actually are then, Stu. That's news to me.
That's the Boston Moonanite Panic in 2007.
Oh,
That's
right,
what.
okay. On the morning of the 31st of Jan 2007, the Boston Police Department of the Boston Fire Department mistakenly identified battery-powered LED placards depicting the Moon Knight characters from the Adult Swim animated TV series Aqua Teen Hunger Force as improvised explosive devices, leading to a massive panic. Fucking hell. Oh, what a country. There's been an update on the iPad and I don't quite understand. Like,
Yeah.
it gives you Windows. I don't like it.
That was like the one that I remembered.
Ah, right, yes, yeah. Oh dear. So this update on the iPad, it gives you Windows and you can float around on the screen, but it means I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at this point. So I probably should have checked that out before recording a podcast with it. Oh well, never mind. Champagne and Bullets. Moving on to Champagne and Bullets. So this film was completed as Champagne and Bullets, a 99-minute movie. It couldn't find a distributor for obvious fucking reasons. So it was initially reworked and given a new title, Road to Revenge. They cut it down to a 75-minute runtime. They cut most of the sex scenes and the nudity, as well as shortening some of the scenes for pacing, removing some of the violence and the sexual assault scenes. That one is available to watch on YouTube currently. They blur out the couple of times they show tits, which aren't the bath scene, which I can't wait to talk about the bath scene. And then the third film was then titled Get Even, no spaces between Get and Even. This was released in 2007. DeHart, that's the director, he re-established some of the sex scenes and the violence. The bath scene was still left shorter than the version that we watched you. And also DeHart shot 2 new scenes with himself training in martial arts. He was 50 when he recorded the initial one. So he was mid to late 60s when he did the reshoots for Get Even. Absolutely crazy. I don't know where to start. I just feel like we could be here till Tuesday. Like, we'll be talking about this when the podcast needs to be put out, because this is incredible. This film it is something else.
I mean, whereas when we were talking about Samurai Cop 2 knowing what it was, this is made at a time where this can't have been real. Like, this was not the intention, surely.
No, it wasn't. I think he made it, from what I can tell. So I've read some. I'm fucking obsessed with this film now. I've read some interviews with John DeHart, and it seems like they made this film because he was sick of never being cast as a leading actor in anything. So he wrote, directed, produced, was the musical editor, starred in this film, basically to give himself a sizzle reel so that he could go to other studios and say, like, this is some of the work I've done. So I think it was made fairly earnestly, which makes it all the more incredible. Even compared to something like The Room, this is several levels below The Room, I think, in terms of quality.
I mean, he literally wrote the theme tune and sang the theme tune.
He did. He did.
way before that was a thing.
Yeah.
It's without question the worst film I've ever seen in my entire life. Without question. That doesn't mean it's not fun, though.
Yeah, it's the worst made film I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed this more than others by quite some margin, I think. But like, the technical side, this is absolutely fucking atrocious. It just is. Like, it's so badly made. The editing, direction, the act, like, everything on this is bad. But like you say, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it.
I mean, even in the opening scene where you got whatever they're supposed to be doing, with the, you say they got the LAPD on the back of the shirts, but they had spaces between, like how you get PlayStation controllers without the full logos on, so they can't sue you.
Yeah.
And I thought, here we go. It's the little details.
That's it. We're in.
And then almost straight away the colour and the temperature of the shot goes from obviously amateur camera work, to what looked like being filmed at night 20 years earlier. They're shooting the bad guys. Absolutely baffling. And well, this is just this is within the first minute of the film. And then the one gets shot, and then he pushes the other one over, and it's like, oh no, this is going to be a long hour and 40 minutes. And it felt like 4 hours, yet still was incredible.
Yeah, it is. And like, I think for some of the issues, like the issues are presented immediately in this film. Like you say, from the first scene, you can tell how bad this is going to be. The second scene, when they're in the courtroom, showed probably my biggest problem with this film. The sound is absolutely appalling in this film. The first time I watched it, I couldn't tell if it was me or if it was like the video that I was watching, because the non-diegetic music is so fucking loud throughout this film. There are times where you legitimately have no idea what the characters are saying because it is so loud. And that happens throughout this entire movie.
Yeah.
And then there's another bit in the courtroom scene when the camera's facing one of the defendants, you can hear the judge who's off screen.
And he hasn't got a mic.
But he's not mic'd up, and they've not gone back and recorded it in ADR or anything. So it just sounds like someone's mumbling who shouldn't be. And it's very funny because of it. And you could tell that it wasn't actually in a courtroom. Like, it was just in this guy's house. And I think most of the scenes were filmed in John DeHart's house. That's how it looks anyway.
Yeah, and it's not... At first I thought, is it deliberate? Are they doing this... the documentary thing where you've got the interviewer off screen and it's not about the interviewer, so he's reacting to it? And I thought, no, they're giving it way too much credit here already.
Yeah, far too much.
Because then the music, like you said, the music comes on and then you don't know what's going on. And it's... like I've said before, this is why I don't watch cam versions of films, because it's always the sound. The sound is the worst part.
Yeah.
And here's us talking about sound and we can't speak. But yeah, you can get away with bad quality or visuals sometimes if you can hear what's going on, but you just can't.
100%.
And
yeah,
saying that, the songs and the music are the best part of this film.
Oh, I want a soundtrack. Like, I haven't been on Spotify to check, but I'll be disappointed if there isn't a soundtrack to this.
There is a compilation on YouTube.
Outstanding. That's what we need.
There's also a shimmy slide 10-hour repeat video. So it's just shimmy slide for 10 hours.
Amazing. Like, I mean, this year we've had Wicked, we had Sinners, which had some incredible music, and the shimmy slide might be my favourite song of the year to come from any film. Like, just amazing stuff.
So I watched it, literally 6 hours ago. I've listened to this. I've listened to that song about 6 times since then. I listened to it on the school run there and back, and when I was doing dinner. When I went to the toilet, I had it again. But it's like how it's its own music video as well. When he's the most awkward man in the world.
I've never seen a man look so fucking terrified in my life as when he stands on stage. He looks like he's about to shit his pants, and he's just like eyeballing the camera throughout the whole fucking 4.5 minutes of this song. It is a long song to be doing in the middle of it without any edits in there. It is so weird. And like, I clocked it at the time because so we're in the bar at this point. So it's the reconnection between Rick and Cindy. And I don't really understand why Rick and Hook are dressed as leather cowboys. Because they're in LA. It's not like they're in Texas, and I don't really see it. But when Rick gets up on stage, and I wrote down that he's wearing a pair of 10 tan leather boots, black leather trousers, and a brown leather jacket. Why are you wearing 3 shades of brown of leather? Like, what are you doing? Yeah, it's the most ridiculous. Like, he wears so much leather throughout this film, and it's just bizarre because he looks like he's about to have a heart attack at any moment.
And then when he counts, he wears a black vest.
That black vest, Jesus.
I've got one of them.
Of course you have.
It also feels like this was an excuse for him to get fondly with a young girl.
We'll get to that because, yeah.
If he's 50 in this, she's 24, maybe.
I think she was mid-30s. She is a former Playboy bunny. She was Miss June or whatever it was in like the late 70s or early 80s, I think. So yeah, he knew what he was doing there. We'll talk about that when we get to the bath scene, because I think that's where it becomes. There's a story attached to that scene, which includes that. So I think we'll come back to that. But what I did like after he did the shimmy slide was they then got a stripper up on stage in this random, I say bar. It clearly wasn't. It was this guy's rumpus room. And then you've got that strange little kid. I say kid. I mean, she was in her teens, I'm assuming, who went and told the police that they had a stripper on. It was just such a strange little section of this movie. This was probably my favourite bit, though, I think. I don't know why, but it just always made me laugh because you have the fight, you have this old fucker getting together with this young hottie and the music and everything. Like, this feels a very pivotal moment in the film for me.
But is that the reason that the police are there to take him away, though? Because she's rang him?
Yeah. That's literally the only reason was we need someone to get the police here. And they were there within like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense why they have what I assume is like some country and western joint, because they've got people doing line dancing, they've got him singing, they've got a band, and then they just get someone to come on stage and get a tits out. Like, it just doesn't make any logical sense to the film.
I mean, I thought she was criticising the quality of the tits because they weren't the best. They were even as fake ones go, they weren't the best. And that's how stupid I thought it was already. That I thought, when she was disgusted, I thought, it's a bit harsh. And then it wasn't about that at all.
She wanted a better standard of tit. That was it. So yeah, they end up in a fight. Hook ends up going to prison. When they go into the cop shop, and you can just hear fucking tapping away of typewriters. Again, it is so loud that I have no idea what the conversations are doing in this part. It's so weird. But it's the end, his final line of the scene when they get Hook out of jail. Here's a quarter, buy yourself a personality. That he said to a police officer at what I assume must be 5 a.m. because they said he's been in here 5 hours and we know that it was like midnight-ish when it all happened. So this fucking old loser is telling a cop to go buy himself a personality. And then we go to the restaurant where he tells the server 2 terrible jokes. A doctor tells a woman to take her clothes off. He turns the light off and she asks where she needs to put her clothes. And he said, on top of mine. And then a man walks into the doctor's with a duck on his head. The doctor asks, what's wrong? And the duck replies, get this guy off my ass. They're so shit. I understand why the waiter would be laughing because he wants a tip, but it's the fact that Cindy is giving this proper belly laugh. She might be the best actor who's ever worked because she at no point made me think she hates his guts, and she must have hated his guts.
Yeah,
I thought she was doing an incredible job.
Well, that's what I didn't think she was like when they just hired a load of porn stars in last week. This was different. I thought she was just an actress who just never really done anything before.
I don't know if this was her first thing, but like I say, she was Playboy stuff prior to being in this film. When I looked on her IMDb, everything's got like a sexy name to it, so I can only assume it's some kind of, Red Shoe Diaries, that like level of stuff. Pamela Jean Bryant, her name is. After Dark, Love and Desire was her last film. quote unquote, 95. She was in something called The Fight to the Killing Jar, Legal Briefs. Oh, she has got a couple of bits before. She's the Sheriff, Tiger Shark. Yeah, Tiger Shark. She was in an episode of Magnum. Bits and bobs, but
Yeah.
it looks like it's jumping between a few TV shows and softcore, it seems like. We then find out about the cult, and I could not stop laughing when she said they killed a human baby. I don't know why she needed to prefix it with human. Like, we kind of just assumed when you say baby that it'll be a human baby. So that just always made me laugh. And then, like, she's upset, reminiscing about it. But then asks Rick, like, as soon as she's finished crying, she turns to Rick and says, "Are you still auditioning to be an actor?" To which he then delivers the entire fucking monologue from Hamlet. Like, honestly, you could have given me a million guesses to work out what monologue he was going to deliver, and I would never have guessed fucking Hamlet, of all things, for him to be doing.
That's the best part he's done in the whole film, though.
It is funny. Like, I genuinely think that must be John DeHart's actual sizzle reel. Like, when he goes in, I think that's what he does, and that's probably why he doesn't get any work, because like, it's why are you doing Hamlet of all things? He hasn't
even got a picture on IMDb.
That's something. I mean, in fairness, like, you've seen the picture, the one I sent you earlier of him and Pamela. Like, if you get a chance, people, go on to, I think it's called the Bristol Bad Film Club. Go onto their website, and they've got a picture. They did an interview with him, and the image from this picture, every publicity shot I've seen of this is just hilarious. It's the most inane, insane nonsense I've ever seen.
Or Voltamada from Newcastle, as I said straight away.
Yeah, he does have that going on, doesn't he? Before we move on to sex scene number 1, the human baby murder. In an interview with the Bristol Bad Movie Club, DeHart was asked about his inspiration behind this film. And to quote the man himself, "It all came out as my vision for that film. I got tired of not being hired as a lead actor, so I wrote this movie, loosely based on a true story. I've always had a limo, and one night I was talking to one of my drivers, a 20-year-old young lady, nice looking. She started crying and told me she'd actually witnessed what I'd put in the movie. Since she was crying so much, I decided I wasn't going to push her on it, but she pretty much blurted out that she was scared and wanted to stay away from them. I wanted to talk her through it, but not that night, as she was so emotional. And as she drove for me a couple of times a week, I figured I'd see her later. A week later, she was dead. Her boyfriend and her were on a motorcycle, and they were T-boned on a freeway. Kind of like what happens in the movie. As far as I know, they never found who did it, so I believed what she told me was the truth. And that's what happened, that they killed a baby. But that's where the idea came from, plus a bit of dramatic license. So DeHart believed that they were murdered by this cult who killed a baby. The police said the death was a result of an accident, so they weren't going to investigate. So DeHart put money up for any information which may prove that she was murdered by this cult, which then led the police to think, actually, maybe she was murdered and John DeHart's the murderer. So they went and raided his house. Absolute fucking nut job this guy is. The first sex scene. I mean, I don't even want to call it a sex scene because there's nothing particularly sexy. She, like, opens up his shirt and bites his shoulder. He then gets an ice cube and rubs it up her leg. And then, like, it's so close to her fanny, I felt really uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to see where this is going. It was unpleasant to see what was going on, I thought.
And then, yeah, it doesn't go... I mean, they don't like that either. From personal Ice Cube experience, they don't like that he's down there. But when he was like tuning the nipples, like the robot in the Grand Day Out, with the ice cubes. What even is this film at this point?
It's just so bizarre. And like it culminates with her coming with him rubbing an ice cube on her nipple. It's almost like it's someone who's never had sex before is making a sex scene. Like, oh, this must work. It just looks so fake, so false, and it clearly was. We then end up back in the pub where Hook is drunk, offering a couple of men who were sat nearby if they wanted to hear a speech written by Hamlet, and then accused everyone of fucking his wife. By all accounts, Wings Hauser, who played Hook, apparently he was just an arsehole, a drunken, coke-addled arsehole. And I don't believe for a single second that anything in this film was scripted. I think Hauser was absolutely off his tits. I don't think he's a good enough actor. You could tell he was drunk, not acting drunk.
When he was on the sofa as well. When he was on the sofa, and when they cut away to her later on, when he's having a go at her for all this stuff that she's done. And it's a different colour, temperature, and it's all grainy as anything. He was proper wasted in that scene.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was absolutely 80s tree. And I think like you could see at times that John DeHart was sat there waiting for like his cue to then jump in. And he was just sort of smiling. And it was the smile of, I don't know what's going on here. And obviously with good reason, because he must have been a fucking nightmare to work with. And by all accounts, John DeHart was like high on pain pills because he'd fucked his back up whilst doing this film. So I think a lot of his stuff he just had no recollection of doing because he was just off his tits. After this weird scene, we then get Hook's wife confronting him about not paying his alimony. He doesn't have any money, so she rips her shirt open and screams, "You remember these? You never knew how to treat them either," about her tits. And calls the cops saying that he assaulted her, getting Hook arrested. When they're outside arguing in front of the coppers, and he just spits in her face. And again, it's like, there's no way that was premeditated. He just went off on one. That's an incredible scene. Just something else altogether.
Well, you think that they obviously didn't have that much money for this, as is the way. When certain things happen like this, to be fair, I'm amazed they all keep it together. Because there's some mad shit in this film.
Yeah. How can you, these aren't perfect. I mean, I know Wings Hauser has done like a lot of character actor work, but like no one else in this film is a professional. So you are right. Like, how did they keep it together when they're doing this mental shit? Is just beyond me. Hook's suicide attempt at drinking bleach in the prison. He ends up in.
It's when he grabs it through the bars.
He couldn't get it through the bars because it was too wide, so he just like works his way up and then drinks it through.
It's like that mixed race guy in the GIF where he's dangling over the edge.
Yeah.
You know the one who gets put on all wolves tweets all the time, and then he's doing the bleach. It's like that, but real.
Yeah. He then goes to hospital where he speaks to a nun. I will come back to the nun in a moment. No. When Rick goes into Hook's room, Rick, who is suicidally depressed, and Rick turns to him and says, "Hey, how are you? I hear you did the bleach thing." What the fuck is that? Every line delivery from Rick is just the craziest thing I've ever seen. Everything. Bath scene. That's up next. 5.5 minutes this went on for. Like, I don't think you realise how long 5.5 minutes is. Like, I mean, just try and sit there in silence for 5.5 minutes. Feels like an eternity. Yeah. I was going to make a joke, like this scene went on for, 3 hours. But actually, 5.5 minutes is ridiculous enough for this type of a scene in this type of a movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be uncomfortable for her. It has to be, because...
yeah.
You think on a closed set, which it wouldn't have been, everyone would have been there. And there's obviously no chemistry between them either. And he's constantly nuzzling on her neck and stuff. And she obviously just doesn't want to kiss him, which is obviously understandable.
Yeah.
So that's why he does what he does. But when she's riding him on the bubbles, and I think this has just turned into Channel 5 porn now.
Mm-hmm.
That's all this is.
Yeah. First thing I want to say is don't do that in the bath. Like that soap will, ladies, that will do stuff to your pH balance. Do not do that. It's unhealthy, I think. So I said I'd.
You know, do it in the sea.
No, God, I don't. To be honest, I don't really like swimming pools, let alone the fucking sea. Absolutely not.
In the sea in Turkey on honeymoon. It was Turkey. They didn't care. It was 15 years ago. Statute of limitations. Oh God, no. Yeah, there was no saltwater backlash there. You probably couldn't do it in the North Sea here. That probably too.
That would be grim.
Yeah, that'd be very salty. Yeah, clear.
That'd be the least of your worries. I think would be the salt, to be honest.
Yeah, considering this was a clean bath, I mean, it's better than anywhere else.
I don't know. I don't think the soap suds would work well.
Oh, he would have been matey as well, wouldn't he?
Almost certainly.
The pink one.
So I said I needed to come back to the nun. So the nun was played by John DeHart's girlfriend at the time. So that's how she was cast in this film. He cast her in this small role, and then he showed her the film on completion, and she dumped him because of the bath scene. So, like, this guy is an absolute fucking baller. Like, he knew he had one chance with the Playboy Bunny, and he thought, in for a penny, in for a pound, I'm going for it. So when the bath scene was actually filmed, neither DeHart or Bryant's partner were actually allowed on set. So it probably wasn't a close set, but DeHart knew that what he was going to do, he didn't want his partner or her partner to see. And that's why she ended up dumping him. She must have been so fucking humiliated watching that, the poor woman. But then she was a terrible actor as well, so I don't know. He got married in a fucking white tracksuit after this. I don't know why. I do not know why. And then, like, literally 2 minutes after the bath scene, we got another sex scene. I say sex scene. It was Cindy dancing for a while whilst Rick was drinking champagne, and then they fucked for 3 fucking minutes again. Which, if you don't watch anything else, this is the scene that I sent you, Stu. Watch this sex scene on YouTube. You will see Rick hand the champagne flute off screen, but he obviously doesn't go all the way. So the camera picks up someone's hand coming on screen to grab the champagne flute and take it away. I can only assume that they did that scene 4 or 5 times and he just kept dropping the champagne flute. So that's why they got someone to take it off him.
But there's a table right there.
Yeah. I know. Just ridiculous. Cindy dies. Rick goes to kill the cult. We then find out that Cindy wasn't actually dead after all. Cindy says she came to in the ambulance. As a former copper, surely Rick would do CPR or check her heartbeat or something. But she came to in the ambulance. So did the EMT say this cult are chasing you, so we better fake your death? Who's fucking organising this stuff? So weird. And then it just ends. Like, they get together and it just ends. This mid-kiss. It's so badly made. It's so bad.
And, like, when she's all mangled on the side of the road as well, on that bankment thing.
Yeah.
You think she looks like she's got a hole in the head?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it's how the nun's telling him that you have to come with me, give me a lift. You have to give me a lift, then you can come back to this grave after.
Jesus. So the scene at the gravesite when they were having her funeral, the priest was wearing the black flowing gown thing that priests wear. That's the same thing that Normad, the bad guy, was wearing when he was the judge. Exactly the same one. And all through it, I kept thinking that looks like, when you go to the hairdressers and they put a cape around you.
Yeah.
It looks like that's what they got. Like, I'm almost certain they didn't have the proper judges or priest robes. It was just one of those fucking cowls. Awful. Outstanding. So, Stu, we need to rank this on 5 categories. The kaboom quotient, how gloriously over top the shootouts and explosions are. Plot pretzel, how convoluted is all this nonsense going on in here. Message in the madness, is there a deeper meaning? The ham and cheese charter is the acting scale, and just the overall what the fuck factor. I'm going to score it out of 10. Let's start with the plot pretzel. 10 out of 10. This film is fucking ridiculous. It makes absolutely no sense. The scenes, whilst they are sort of vaguely chronological, you could jumble them up and it would make absolutely no difference.
Yeah.
It would still be mental.
It's Pulp Fiction by accident again.
This would be a year before Pulp Fiction.
I mean, the plot the plot that IMDb says is the last 10 minutes of the film.
Yeah, it completely spoils the movie.
The official plot is 10 minutes of the entire film. The rest of it is just bollocks. It makes no sense.
Uh-huh. It's just an excuse for him to sing and dance, I think.
Yeah. And, I mean, some of the... this is the one song... It's like, I looked on YouTube and there was someone in the comments that when I get married, this is going to be my first dance.
Is it one of the sex scenes song?
It's the Isle something. Oh dear. Where's he gone? I had these on playing all day since I watched it. John DeHart. If you just put John DeHart sings, I'll be with you.
I'll be with you. Okay, right.
Well, it's Get Even love theme. I'll be with you.
I think I know which one it is because there's some absolute standout tracks in this.
I mean, they're not going to get
reasons.
They're not going to get us, are they?
I'll be with you when you want me. I'll be with you when you need me.
It's
wow.
There's like when I said I can't sing anything apart from Glorious. I now think I can sing all of the songs in there better than
I reckon I could have a good go at some of these. Yeah, that's it. Karaoke night, Stu. Let's do it.
Yeah, shimmy slide for Christmas.
Super. What are you scoring for this?
I mean, it's got to be a 10, hasn't it? Because it's ridiculous beyond belief.
Yeah, it just is unbelievable. The kaboom quotient. Like, there's no real explosions in this film. The couple of fight scenes, and like I'm saying, fight very, very loosely. When he knees Normad in the stomach at the beginning, and it's just, why have you done that? It's
shit.
It's so bad, but I feel like it's a 10 because it's the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. Because once again, like everything is so far. Like we're supposed to be over the top and everything, but this is the other way. Like it's. What's the opposite of over the top? Is it like under the bottom? Like it's gone so far back the other way, it's almost come full circle.
It's like a lethargic fight scene.
Yeah, because it's a 50-year-old man who is not in the best shape. At least at one point, where he then turns into a near 70-year-old man in a later point doing some fucking martial arts nonsense.
I mean, there's the bit after he sings Shimmy Slide, the fight in the bar before they go break up, and when one guy actually gets slapped to the floor.
And like, I don't want to make light of rape scenes, but that shit was fucking funny. When he rips her top open, but he accidentally rips her tits out as well at the same time. And it's like, this is so bad. And yeah, I'm going to give it a 10 because it's just mental. It's either a 10 or a 1, depending on how you look at it. I know we've given the big silly stuff, but this is just like the tiniest silly stuff, and it's the other end of the scale that comes full circle for me.
I had it as a 7 just because Toxic Avenger was. You can't rank this as above Toxic Avenger because that actually did well with the money that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas this was very shitly done, but because of that, it's hilarious and funny. So I'm sticking with a 7 for mine.
Fair. Message in the madness. There's nothing, is there? Let's be honest. The message to this is anyone could make a film.
Yeah, that's literally what I wrote. I literally wrote this proves dreams do come true. That's what I put because, and for a 4, because this is the point. If you've got an idea, you can make it. And this guy made it without phones, where you can make a film on an iPhone now. Anyone can make a film on an iPhone and edit it themselves on the phone. This crazy fucker did it with an actual camera and
a camera and a bag of dreams. That was it. I've given it a 1 because it's not the film itself that's got the message. It's John who's got the message, I think. But that 4's fair. That's the acting scale.
Yeah, obviously.
It's a 10, isn't it? Everything is horrendous in it. Nomad. I mean, what apparently he was asked why Nomad rather than Norman, and it was supposed to be Norman, but it was a typo in his original blurb for the thing, so he just left it as Nomad. Nomad constantly sounded like he was chewing on fucking gravel throughout this film, to the point that it was indecipherable what he was saying in points.
The fact that he went from detective to judge and cult leader in the same film.
Oh God, he was terrible. I genuinely think Pamela Jean Bryant was. Maybe it's just because everyone else was so bad that she looked like an Oscar winner in comparison. But I thought she was great. Just because she'd never balked at kissing that fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
But he was terrible. Hook was off his face. Cult leader we've spoke about. Hook's wife, she just gave the most batshit performance I've seen. You've got the cult followers, Scar, and another lad wearing a lovely smashing blouse as well. Just all of them are crazy. Like it can't be anything less than a 10. It's the perfect category for this type of thing that we've been doing.
It's the guy who looked like he was in the Flying Pickets as well with his long hair.
Yeah,
who didn't do anything at all.
That's the one. He had a smashing blouse on him, but he was just bizarre. So the overall, what the fuck? It's another 10.
Yeah,
it can't be anything less. Whilst it's incoherent and it's a bad film, I had such a fucking laugh watching it.
I mean, I didn't laugh as much at this as I have for some of the others over the last 6-7 weeks, or however long we've been doing this. But when I wasn't laughing, mainly because I couldn't breathe, it was just, you couldn't take your eyes off it. It was like being completely baffled. Mm-hmm. I know this was on how did this get made, and that is the main question more than anything else, because it's just
yeah,
there's a reason
it got made because
he
needed to. That was it. That's literally, he just wanted to get this done because no one would have financed this. And obviously it was pre-Kickstarter and the like, so that was never going to be an option.
And did he finish it after, when did The Room come out?
The Room, I think, was in the 2000s. The Room, 2003. So the reshoots that he did were in 2006-07, so it would have been a few years after The Room. So, but obviously, it's a precursor to The Room by like a good decade.
Yeah. That's why I'm thinking, like, did he, like, he must have seen that and thought, oh, wow.
There is a market for this crazy shit. Yeah.
But even then, the Room stuff didn't feel like it kicked in until 2010.
It does feel like The Room sort of was a bit of a slow burner.
But he would definitely have seen it. He would definitely have seen The Room because it got a life of its own before it turned into what it is now. So if it's a case of, yeah, let's just put this out, let's finish it off and put it out, not even in a knowing way, just thought, we've got a film here that's as good as this, and it's worse than The Room.
Well, I'm just looking. So on IMDb, The Room is on a 3.6 and Champagne and Bullets is on a 4.0. So there's not a lot in it. It's a much worse film than The Room.
Yeah.
And like, you've got to go a long way to be a worse film than The Room. I'm guessing Champagne and Bullets probably isn't going to have any reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, just to see what the critical consensus was.
And if it's 3 names.
Well, that's the problem as well. Like, how do you find this fucking thing? Right, Road to Revenge. No, it's got one review from a proper critic on there, and Brian Orndorff. Make no mistake, the thing is awful, but one doesn't come to the feature with hopes for directorial finesse. Amusement with a Birdemic-style ride is the desired result, and the effort delivers plenty of that. It's got a positive review. It's got one positive review. So, in theory, Road to Revenge is 100% fresh. Whereas The Room... Rotten Tomatoes score. I mean, that's 24% based on 33. And I would imagine the majority of the positive ones there will be a case of the experience of watching The Room, not watching The Room.
Yeah. Everyone's shouting high mark at the same time.
That's it. So apparently, John DeHart has got a script for a sequel. But he's refusing to make it until he makes his money back on this film, which makes you wonder how much money did he fucking spend on this movie. But also, he doesn't now want to make it without Pamela, because she passed away in 2010, I think it was, and Wings Hauser died in March this year. So he's the last man standing of the crew. So I just don't think we'll ever get to see a sequel, unfortunately. But I kind of want to see what mental shit he would put to paper.
But it feels like he doesn't know either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's not self-aware like they were doing that last week.
Yeah, I mean, reading that interview that I mentioned earlier, the Bristol Bad Movie Club, it does sound like I think he knows it's bad, but I think he sort of has an air of, but it's good, bad, not bad. I think that's the impression I got from reading it. I like, obviously we don't know the guy, but yeah, apparently that's how he comes across to me.
Yeah, and you can't do this deliberately. It doesn't work.
God, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Right, okay, so the scores on this, Stu, I've worked them out. They are 82%, which puts this film into joint second place. So the most ridiculous film that we watched is The Toxic Avenger. I have absolutely no arguments against that. It's probably the most fun I've had of any of the movies we've watched. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great film and great fun as well. Just brilliant. And then we've got this movie. We've got hang on. Oh, no, yeah, we do. We have The Running Man on 82. We've got Big Trouble in Little China also on 82. So they are a joint second place. Then in So what'll that be? That'll be 5th place then. Will be Samurai Cop with 75%. They Live on 74%. We've then got They Call Me Macho Woman on 67%. They Call Me Macho Woman is probably the only film of this bunch that I haven't seen. Or like it might be of the ones that I haven't seen. This might be my favourite ones are the ones I hadn't seen before doing this little thing. I think, yeah. Yeah, that's 67%. The Ambulance is 66%, which I think might be your favourite one that you hadn't seen before. Yeah. We've then got Samurai Cop 2 on 60%. Then on 57% was You're the Hunter from the Future, which I think was a good place to start. And then Jim Carter is bottom of the pile on 54%. I really enjoyed doing this, seeing all of this absolute insanity. It's been brilliant. I think it's the right winner as well. Stu, any thoughts?
Yeah. If this had come first, I don't think we could argue too much about it. But I think even going back, I did like The Ambulance a lot more, and that's one that I'll probably will watch again at some point.
It's part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe now, Stu. You have to.
Exactly. So it's fair, I think. I think it's fair for how they were all ranked as we went along. Not going back and changing any afterwards. Not thinking too much into it. Other than this one, just tweaking one thing deliberately. But yeah, I think it's a fair list. I only add another 5 to it next year, next autumn.
Yeah, I like that idea. Any that you'd recommend people to watch? Because there's someone here, like people are probably going to know They Live, The Running Man, Big Trouble. But I kind of feel like I would tell people to watch. I would tell people to watch the Road to Revenge version of Champagne and Bullets that's available on YouTube, because at 100 minutes there are bits where it's a bit of a slog, whereas the 80 minutes is good. The only problem with that version is they've edited down the bath scene, and I feel like you need the full 5.5 minutes just to experience how mental it is. So I would recommend Champagne and Bullets. Is there anything you'd say that?
Yeah, this and The Ambulance are the ones that I'd say. Just because you're not going to find these any other way, really. Everyone knows. I mean, the Toxic Avenger remake, so everyone knows about that anyway.
Yeah, true.
Like you said already about Running Man and Big Trouble in Little China, everyone knows that. I mean, you're always funny when like the lasers and the future stuff started going on.
Yeah,
you can't even like. How do you describe that film to anyone? That's the problem. This, you just say it's worse than The Room, but it's equally as funny. You know your audience there. Whereas The Ambulance was just a good old laugh.
I guess I enjoyed Samurai Cop as well. Badly made, but
I think Samurai Cop was. It was right in that sweet spot of you have to like these shit films. Like, you ain't going to get people... Because I know there's people who won't watch bad films.
Yeah.
Who I know. But hey, they've still seen The Room because everyone has. And yeah, they won't give something like that it's bad, but it's not as incredibly mediocre as that is and what this was. It's not bad enough for them to watch.
Because I feel like Samurai Cop's got a little bit of notoriety. The first one, I don't think the second one's got the same. I think if you were to do like one of those cheap DVD 3-packs, I'd put Samurai Cop, Champagne and Bullets in The Room together, and you'd have a fucking great old night. Like, it would be, beers, pizza, and those 3 terrible films. What more do you want on a Saturday night? Absolute perfection.
480p.
Yeah. Right, so next week we are going to be doing the Star Wars Christmas special. I've seen it once, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, Stu. It's been a long time, and the only thing that I can remember is Chewie's granddad watching some kind of porn thing on his 3D fucking TV set.
Yeah.
It's such an utterly crazy thing that I'm really excited about revisiting it.
Yeah, I saw it a couple of years ago, but Ed didn't even know about it.
Oh, sorry, holiday special, not Christmas special, because it's it's not called Christmas that they're celebrating. Is it Life Day? Yeah, they're celebrating Life Day, aren't they, on there? So it's the Star Wars holiday special. It is currently available on YouTube to stream, so you don't need to go far.
Yeah,
And to be fair, like, because of how it's made, I think it's made like it's almost like 3 or 4 episodes. So it's like you could do half an hour a night for 4 nights, and I'd recommend it. I really would. Stu just dropped his laptop, but we're back. We're all safe. We're all here in one piece. Stu, what were you saying about Star Wars Holiday Special? People give it a watch.
Yeah, and it's when I watched it on the copy that I had. I mean, it's whether they refuse to even acknowledge that it exists. It's quite funny.
Yeah,
they could quite easily go back. I mean, if they're releasing the uncut versions and the digitized versions back in cinemas again, then they can go back and touch this up with they must have the original footage. They must have.
You'd have thought so. There's got to be something somewhere. But like, I've got the IMDb page up at the moment, and when you look at the footage of it, it looks like it's the worst footage I've ever seen. Yeah, it's really chunky, so it would need a good scrubbing to get it back up to muster, I think, at this point.
But it's only ever been shown once. That's the point. Mm-hmm. And it's someone recording it off telly back then in America, and then uploading that copy that's been watched God knows how many times to YouTube.
Yeah. So not the ideal way to preserve these things, is it?
Like the Boxing Day 1963 image from Sky that gets put on Twitter every year.
Mm.
And even though it's a digital thing, it seems to get worse and worse, and it seems to degrade. Because people are just screenshotting a screenshot over and over again every year.
Mm,
that's what seems
photocopying a photocopy, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was made for TV, and there's obvious ad breaks in it, so you can watch it until the ad break, go and do something else, and then come back and carry on. It's not too much of a chore then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the best way to handle it. So the story goes: Chewbacca and Han Solo try to get to the Wookiee homeland of Kashyyyk to celebrate Life Day, but are impeded by an Imperial blockade. Chewie's family passes the time with various forms of entertainment. It's kind of like Saturday morning TV, where they throw in the odd like animated TV show and stuff, and it's almost like you're watching people watching that kind of stuff. It's utterly bizarre, but like, I think if you're a Star Wars completionist, you probably need to give it a watch.
Yeah.
Right, Stu, I think we better call it a day there, mate. So make sure you've got somewhat of a podcatcher that you listen to us on. And if you could leave us a review, that would really help us out. Next year, we would like to try and push on and get a few more listeners and get a bit more interaction going. If you do want to interact, you can get us on the socials at Cage Fighting Pod, or any emails to cagefightingpod@gmail.com. Stuart, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, before you watch the holiday special, you've still got time to watch Trapped in Paradise. Always remember. Goodbye, everyone.
It's goodbye from me too. And remember, you're on fire when I grab you by the hand. Your waist is moving with the rhythm of the band. My eyes swell up as you take me for a ride. Come on, pretty baby. Let's do the shimmy slide. See ya.